Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar, Strategies for Policing Innovation, National Training and Technical Assistance Program, hosted by the Bureau of Justice Assistance. At this time, I would like to turn over the webinar to today's presenter.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, Mary Jo, for kicking this off. My name is Kate McNamee, and I'm a Senior Policy Advisor with the Bureau of Justice Assistance. I oversee the Strategies for Policing Innovation Program at BJA. Excuse me. It's a pleasure to discuss our FY19 Training and Technical Assistance Solicitation today. So the SPI program has existed since 2009, and its goal has been to support law enforcement's efforts to identify and test innovative and evidence-based solutions to their most pressing policing challenges and crime problems. The SPI TTA program has supported these efforts through provision of expert guidance on evidence-based policing, research partnerships, program evaluation, and logistical support. The TTA program plays a vital role in ensuring that what we learn from SPI Site's work is shared with the policing field as broadly as possible so that SPI both benefits individual jurisdictions' work, but also provides the policing field with information on what works in crime prevention. We'll go to the next slide. So by way of background, I wanted to highlight the SPI site-based program so that everybody understands what exactly we are working to support. Under SPI, which is released as a solicitation, competitive solicitation annually, jurisdictions compete to receive up to $700,000 for 3-year initiatives. Their proposed project must target a pressing operational, technology implementation, or crime reduction issue for intervention or implementation. SPI sites are strongly encouraged to partner with researchers to evaluate their progress and results, and it's a very broad portfolio with police departments addressing issues related to violent crime reduction, technology implementation, crime analysis capacity building, addressing dangerous people and places, and innovative approaches to individuals in mental health or substance abuse or other crisis. So basically, all of the most pressing problems facing policing today, we try to find solutions for in SPI. And there are often special purpose areas featured in the solicitation. In the past, these have focused on addressing organizational change in police departments, the implementation of body-worn cameras, and precipitous increases in violent crime. And the access to intensive training and technical assistance has been key to SPI site success. And to learn more about SPI sites, I would suggest that you visit the Strategies for Policing Innovation.com website to dive a little further. Here's a sampling of what SPI has enabled local jurisdictions to accomplish. In Boston, the SPI project resulted in a significant increase in homicide clearance rates, while in Los Angeles, Operation Laser was associated with a 56% decrease in homicide in the selected target area. And LAPD has since increased its use of the SPI approach to reduce homicides and non-fatal shootings throughout the city. In Rochester, New York, the SPI project resulted in the development and validation of a risk assessment tool to predict retaliatory gun violence disputes. The project is associated with an extended decline in aggravated assault and murder, I should say, in the city, and that, to my knowledge, still continues. Kansas City, Missouri, their SPI-supported focused deterrence strategy is associated with a 40% decrease in homicides and a 19% decrease in gun assaults in connection with the project. And these are examples, are meant to illustrate the diversity and complexity of the work underway in SPI. A sophisticated and proactive TTA program is a key element of our success, and expectations of the chosen provider are very high in terms of expertise and ability to deliver TTA quickly and comprehensively. So what is the SPI TTA provider responsible for? They must provide ongoing support to existing and future SPI grantees. We currently have approximately 25 active grantees with more awards expected, obviously in FY19. The provider works closely with myself and others at BJA to plan the annual SPI grantee national meeting, workshops focused on special topics or other educational sessions. The provider needs to support an SPI website, social media outreach plans, newsletters, webinars, and blogging on relevant topics. Online resources are very important to SPI, as is the ability to provide assistance to the policing community on the topic of evidence-based policing practices and replicating promising crime reduction models. Next slide. So to continue, we also expect the selected provider to collaborate with other organizations that could add to SPI's work, resources, and expertise, to create hard copy publications and web resources on topics of importance to the policing field, and which highlight and publicize SPI successes, and to, of course, provide regular updates to BJA. I highly recommend checking Section E of the solicitation. I believe it's called Selection Criteria. And this contains important information that you should cover in your application. We are awarding $1.5 million to support this TTA program, and therefore expectations will be high in terms of what competitive applications will have to offer. Your organization must demonstrate that it has adequate infrastructure to support a complex nationwide program like SPI. The organization must have experience with managing TTA programs for evidence-based law enforcement programs that are national in scope. The application must demonstrate that the organization's technical expertise in implementing action research partnerships with policing organizations, and it also must demonstrate ready access to expertise in such diverse topics as information sharing, violent crime reduction, crime and data analysis, investigations, and best practices associated with investigations, approaches to individuals in crisis, research partnerships, evaluation and data analysis, and public safety collaborations and partnerships, including partnerships with the community. Next slide. So who is an eligible applicant? And here we're pretty broad. National, nonprofit, for-profit, and institutions of higher learning are all eligible. Tribal institutions in all of these categories are eligible. As is typical of any BJA cooperative agreement, recipients and subrecipients must forego any profit or management fee as part of their acceptance of the award. Projects are to be up to 36 months, and as I said, for a funding amount of up to $1.5 million. The approach must be based on evidence-based strategies and programs. No match is required, and awards will be made in the form of a cooperative agreement. And applications are due May 23rd and should use a start date of October 1st, 2019. Next slide, please. To take some of the mystery out of the application process, I'd like to share what happens at BJA when you submit. Applications will be accepted through grants.gov through 11/59 on May 23rd. They will then be reviewed to ensure that they meet the solicitation's stated basic requirements. Those that do so enter the peer review process, where they are reviewed by 3 peer reviewers, and the scores from the review are then given to me. I provide the results to the BJA director with recommendations for which applications to fund, and the BJA director makes his final decision and then submits his recommendation to the OJP Principal Deputy Assistant Attorney General. Awards will be issued to successful candidates no later than September 30th, 2019. And now I will turn it back to Mary Jo so she can go over some key resources you should be aware of as you put your application together. Mary Jo?
Hello, everybody. Right now you're looking at a slide that has information about the National Criminal Justice Reference Service. If you have any questions after today's webinar, you could reach out to NCJRS at grants@ncjrs.gov and ask them the question. They will work with Kate to get you an answer. They are available via the email address I just mentioned, as well as a web chat, and they also have a toll-free number. They are opened Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they are open later on the day the applications are due. As Kate mentioned, though, you don't want to wait till the last minute to submit your application. It is highly recommended that you submit your application at least 72 hours in advance. If you would like to be made aware of other webinars or other funding opportunities through the Office of Justice Programs, and when items from this webinar are posted to the BJA website, we recommend that you go to the NCJRS website and sign up to receive their funding newsletter. That comes out every Friday, and so it'll let you know what's going on with regards to funding and what's offered through the Office of Justice Programs. They also have a bi-weekly newsletter, Just Info, that announces funding opportunities as well as other items from the agencies. If you're having trouble submitting your application or uploading any kind of documents, grants.gov is the go-to source for that type of technical assistance. They do have a customer support hotline, 800-518-4726. They are open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, except for federal holidays, and you also can send them an email. Both this information about grants.gov as well as NCJRS are available. It's listed in the solicitation. Additionally, if you want to stay in touch with BJA, BJA would like you to follow them on social media. They have a Facebook, Twitter account, RSS feed, and that information is located here, and you can find it also on the BJA website. And lastly, if you're submitting information, BJA also produced a series of Grant Applicant Education Series webinars earlier this year, and those are also posted on the BJA website and would be a resource to you in submitting your application. And then lastly, information such as the DOJ Financial Guide and other resources about how to go about submitting information or submitting an application and budget for federal funding is available through these resources listed on this slide. I'll leave this up here so you can have the opportunity to go ahead and jot the information down if you like. These slides will be posted to the BJA website. And also, if you go back to the funding webinars that were held earlier this year, you can also get that this information via those slides. So at this time, we can open it up to questions, although it does not appear that we have any questions here. So I will move it to this information about BJA. You can also write that down. If you do have any questions, now is the perfect time. You have Kate at your disposal, so she will be happy to answer those questions for you. Otherwise, again, if you don't ask it now, you can submit it through NCJRS, and they will work with Kate to get you an answer. So we will give you a few minutes to see if anything comes to mind, and if not, then we will end the webinar. Again, while we're waiting for some questions to come through, I will go ahead and post the NCJRS slide again so that you have a chance to write that information down. Any questions can be submitted at grants@ncjrs.gov, and their website address is www.ncjrs.gov. Please sign up for their newsletter. I think you might find that very helpful moving forward. as we finish up the grant season and looking into next year's grant season. Kate, did you have anything that you wanted to add while we're waiting for a question to come through?
I don't think so, but I'd be happy to answer any, should any come to mind. And as Mary Jo said, you can always get to us through NCJRS as well as you put together your application.
I would say at this time there are no questions, so I think we probably should end the webinar. Don't want to let you guys stay on and just listen to silence. So on behalf of the Bureau of Justice Assistance, I would like to thank you for attending today's webinar. Kate, would you like to say anything in closing?
No, I just encourage everybody to read the solicitation thoroughly. You know, I welcome the opportunity to work with new exciting partners in SPI. That's what we're all about. And I look forward to reading your submissions. So thank you very much, and thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Goodbye.